Good morning, everybody, and it's time once again for one of our at-home shopping days here at Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. Want to welcome you. I'm Expo Dave, and we have the wonderful Vickyville here today, ready to shop too, I'm sure.
Yes, and scrapbook.
I know. You know what? We're getting ready to go to Schaumburg next week, so we've been warehouse working a lot. So I think it'll be time. I did a little bit of paper crafting yesterday. I stayed and worked from home yesterday.
That's what I'm gonna do the rest of the day. I'm going to scrapbook 12 by 12 layout scrapbook.
There we go.
I started on my summer scrapbook.
Yeah.
A couple, whenever I can get a chance because we've been working so much.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I know I love everything too, but there's something about OG scrapbooking, and it's so fun.
Yep, and I know that because I know you take pictures and you print your pictures. Yep. That's the main thing, is printing those pictures to get them on your pages for sure.
And I told Dave in the beginning of the summer, I'm like, okay, we live in Southern California. I wasn't able to go last year at all, not once, to the beach because of everything. And so I said I was going to go 5 times this year. I went 1 time.
Hey, that's,
and
that's a start.
My daughters would not let me hardly take any pictures because, they're in their bathing suits. They're like, Mom, no, So I went once, so I have 4 more times to go.
Nice, nice.
And I'll get more photos, but that's going to be added to my summer scrapbook here.
Well, maybe you got some pictures of some sunrises or sunsets, or depending on when you went.
Well, we have birthdays in the summer, and so I had my husband's birthday, and then as if you follow me on Instagram or anything, I'm Vickyville _ if you want to. I have a really nice blow-up pool. And so I've taken a lot of pictures in there. Yeah. So that's summer.
that's a great thing, about we work hard all day and then you go home and that's such a relaxing thing.
You just get in there and it's so much fun. Put some nice music on and you feel like you're at the beach.
Yes. Well, and you'll be at the beach, and it's still 100+ degrees here still.
Yes,
it's going to be another hot one. So
also September, a little bit of October. Yeah. So I still get a chance to go to the beautiful ocean.
And it'll be, it maybe won't be as crowded,
Yeah.
We got the
kids
summer
are back
crowd.
to school now and stuff. Yeah.
You want to go at the right time. Don't go on a Monday or a Friday because it'll be busier. People take those days off.
Exactly. Right. You're right.
And the sharks come in on Monday and Friday.
Oh, no. I know. I was watching Shark Week.
Shark Week.
And I was like, oh, my gosh. Because I always think they're not going to come all the way into this. But they do. Yes.
Speaking of which, I was watching the news yesterday, and there was a lady who her son was doing surfing or something, and she did a video, and she realized after the video that right behind him there was a little baby shark. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't like a great white or anything, but it was a little one. It just kind of flipped off and kind of looked like it's flipped right over him. But
oh my gosh.
So she didn't notice that until she got it on the camera.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I watch Shark Tank, so there you go.
Oh, that doesn't count. Although I love that show too.
I do too.
You got to know how to do that elevator pitch in less than a minute.
Yes, and I'm always sitting there going, oh, I wish I had thought of that.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
But
just like half of the songs on the radio, I always think in my head, oh my gosh, I was writing that song. Such a dork.
They stole my notes. Oh God. Well, so we have coming up Schaumburg this coming week. I fly out on Tuesday, and we'll be getting set up on Wednesday, and then we have our great mega make and take on Thursday, and then all of our great events on Friday and Saturday. So I'm so looking forward to being able to see everybody and enjoy the Renaissance Hotel there in in Schaumburg.
You guys, if you're not from, or if you don't go to that show, I'm just telling you, when you walk into the lobby,
the smell.
There is this smell. I don't know if it's if it's jasmine or geraniums or
something.
It just smells glorious in there, right?
It does. That is true. And it has that relaxing.
Yes.
And they have the nice music.
Because they have a water a water treatment too, so
yeah,
it's going to be amazing.
Exactly. So, you know, it's great. I mean, you may still be able to get a room there and stay the weekend.
Yeah,
I mean, it's worth treating yourself to a night there.
For sure.
And then that way you can stay and go to our play event if you haven't already signed up for one of those on Friday and Saturday. So
yeah.
And then as soon as I get back from that, which we've already started preparing to come to Mesa, and we will be in Mesa. I wrote the dates down here because we got dates now. 17th and 18th of September, and our Mega Make and Take is sold out already.
Yay!
We just opened registration this week, and then our play events on Friday and Saturday. I know one has less than 10 seats, and the other one may have maybe 10 or 12 seats. So you'll want to get your tickets for our play dates and check out all the great workshops. So just a lot of fun, and the main thing is getting to see all of you again, and you guys getting to be able to get together with your friends and family and make memories and laugh and have fun and eat snacks and do a little getaway.
And do some shopping, because
yes.
the show floor, OMG, right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, there's so many amazing vendors.
Great vendors that are going to be there.
New products, and woo!
For sure, for sure, for sure. And then also for those of you who are here in California, even Northern California, at the end of August on Friday, the 27th, and Saturday the 28th from 10 to 2, we are having another warehouse sale because as we've been cleaning and getting ready for shows, if you were here before, we've found a lot more goodies for you. So you want to check that out. And the main thing, too, is, listen to this, everybody.
Listen to this.
So if you were here before, we had little dots that were colored dots. So let's say a black dot was $1, okay? All those things are going to be priced, but we are taking 50% off of those items. So you can get dollar items for 50 cents, $2 for $1. And those of you that were here, you saw some of the great stuff that we had. So you might want to make another trip in. You know, we'll give you a bag to fill up when you come in, and just come in and say hi. You know, that we'd love to see that too. So
it's 50% off your entire total.
Yes.
So that's going to be a great deal, you guys.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
You could even like store up for gifts for Christmas, or for your classroom, or maybe you meet with, you know, your friends for certain crops, or you do swaps. Load up right now. It's a deal. Yeah, and you might know somebody that, you know, you might know an organization that's looking for some product. And you know, there's all kind of after school programs. So come on down, because one thing, you know, we've had our creation station / tool station at the shows for years, and the other day we pulled down the pallet. It has some of the photo printers that we used, and we're going to be selling those as well. Awesome.
So we have, so you're going to want to check that out.
It's just like a bunch of stuff.
Yes, I mean, it goes from embellishments. We have adhesive.
We have some old
planner books, traveling notebooks,
old kind of decor that our photographer used to use to photograph all of the, you know, projects and stuff. So there'll be some of that as well. So it's kind of like a array of different things.
It is. So you want to check that out, and we'd love to see you and come down and get some shopping done. And so I know that we've been doing a little shopping.
Yeah, we have.
I'm like, I can do that.
My husband's like, why do you need more? And I'm just like,
because that's the only reason you use stuff. But the main thing for today is we want you to be able to enjoy our great vendors that are, and we have a great lineup today. Oh my gosh. Karen, our first group is Karen Burniston with her awesome dies. We have Art Impressions that's always just art filled, if nothing else, and then Heartfelt Creations, which, you know, just turns a piece of paper flower into a beautiful embellishment, and just great products. So
we're saying hello to Gabriella.
Hi, Gabriella.
To Anne.
Hi. Hey, hi there, Anne.
Denise, Brenda.
Great. We're glad to have you.
Yes, Lenine. Oh my gosh, there's all kinds of people here. Lisa, Alice.
Miss
Thank you for
Alice.
being here, guys. We're gonna have fun.
Yes, and Miss Alice, she was one of our phone a friend winners too from the last time.
And I love how she always posts her gifts. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and she's been doing some great projects too. So okay, everybody. Well, we want you to sit back, click, shop, and enjoy our first set of presentations, and we will be right back. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. I had started the clock, so I knew we had a few extra seconds to go, so I wasn't quite.
Hello, everyone. It's Karen Burniston, and I am a die designer. I've been designing dies for many years, but about 4 years ago, I went into business with my friend Tanya, who owns Riley & Company, so we are in cahoots together, and we have
just
a
heard
website,
all that on the video,
where you can find all of my die designs. Now, just this week, we've expanded with 14 new dies. So I have a few things to go over in the next 20 minutes. We do have a show special, and I'll go over that in just a little bit. First, I want to show you our new release, brand new release. And we're also going to cram in a project, so we got a lot to get done. Okay, before I dive into the new release, let me just explain kind of what came before. We have pop-up ball dies. So the first one was the surprise ball. That one flattens down into about a 5-inch square card. And then because it does have a rubber band inside, then you kind of need to use some kind of closure on your card to keep it closed. And so we have this really handy flap and closure die set that will give you the pieces that you need to make a flap, twine closure. And that could either be petal fold like this, or it could just be maybe a single flap on the side of the card. Okay, so surprise ball and flap and closure. Then, because people were really enjoying making animals out of the surprise ball, they asked if they could have a smaller version of the ball to be able to use as the head, so that the head and the body would be different sizes. And so then we came out with the Bitty Ball pop-up. So the Bitty Ball pop-up is very much geared towards making animals. It goes together the same as the surprise ball, but the decorator pieces that come with the Bitty Ball have a lot of the pieces that you need for animals. So arms and ears and smile and eyes, bow tie, that all comes included in the base Bitty Ball set. You could make a chicken, a bear, a dog, just with the Bitty Ball, stacking the Bitty Ball on top of itself. So the add-on sets really, are geared more towards using with the Bitty Ball or the Bitty Ball and the surprise ball, if that makes sense, because you might decide that you want to have the bigger ball on the bottom, but you really do kind of need the base. This is really the foundation die for all of your animal making. And then we have animal add-ons 1, animal add-ons 2, and animal add-ons 3. So those are pigs, foxes, cats, giraffe, elephant, hippo, and we have moose and reindeer and penguin. Okay, so and you can see when you stack the two together, you can see the difference in the size, but you can always make animals by just stacking 2 Bitty Balls together if you prefer. Okay, so in our new release, we now have character add-ons. So the first one, character add-ons 1, will make your Halloween characters, make like a little pumpkin head, you can make a vampire, you can make just a jack-o'-lantern. So those are made using the character add-ons 1 set. Here's a card using that flap and closure. So flap and closure is still your best bet for keeping them closed. And then you can see the vampire in a card there, and that spins around on a brad. Okay, character add-ons 1. And then let's look at character add-ons 2. And it is Santa and Mrs. Claus. And once again, you can build those on a brad so they can spin in your card. Very much needs the Bitty Ball because you are going to use the arms and some of the decorator pieces out of the Bitty Ball to do noses and things. But in the case of Santa, I used the Bitty Ball on the top and the surprise ball on the bottom, although he could easily be made the same as Mrs. Claus, where it's bitty bitty. In our last release, we came out with the tiny house pop-up die set. So it makes this adorable little tiny house. It has the doors and windows and flower boxes and stone path and a really cool stamping feature that actually stamps the shingle pattern onto the roof as you die cut it. So really cool, popular die set, tiny house pop-up. And in that same release, we came out with our first of the add-on sets. So this is the mushroom tiny house add-ons. And all this does is adds on the pieces that you would need with the foundation die, which is your tiny house pop-up, to fashion a mushroom tiny house. So it gives a different little roof, and you've got rounded doors and windows and things, but then you still use like your flower boxes from your foundation set. You got the little grass piece in that little mushroom tiny house add-ons. And now in our new release, we have 2 new tiny house add-ons sets. So the first is the haunted tiny house add-ons. So that's going to make use of the foundation die, which is a tiny house, but then now you're going to have new windows and doors and shutters and boards and a ghost and a spider web and a spider. You're going to have a bat, a little jack-o'-lantern, and a spooky fence. Those all come in the little haunted tiny house add-ons. And then what I've used here in conjunction with that is our new Happy Halloween die that does come with a shadow. And then to make the tree and the moon for both the inside of the card and the outside, I used one of our previously released dies, which is our landscape scene. So all of our dies work really, really well with each other. And so that's a great one to use as a spooky tree and a moon with your haunted tiny house add-ons. And then the other new tiny house add-ons is the gingerbread tiny house add-ons. So once again, you're going to use the foundation die of the tiny house, but then the add-on set is going to add like the lattice for the roof and the little round candies that are used here on the path and on the roof. You've got panels to go on the chimney, the fronts and the sides of the house. The windows and the door are from the tiny house, but you get new, slightly larger versions of those that you can cut out of white so that it looks like you've mounted your windows and your door with frosting. You get candy canes, gumdrops, gingerbread man, peppermint candy. That all comes in that set. You can also play around with making flat houses and using your add-on sets. We have a new street lantern pop-up, and this one's a fun one. It's very versatile. You can combine the pole and the lantern in different ways to make different looks, and it can be used flat or it can be used with the included little generic pop-up platform that will bring it forward. It comes with some holiday sashes and bows and wreaths for when you want to use it for holiday cards, but of course it can be used year-round. You can also explore what you can do with those extra pieces. So you can see here the background of the lantern really looks like a bell, so I made bells out of this one and actually used the swag to fashion a wreath. So very versatile set, the street lantern pop-up. You can always shorten it if you need to use it like I did here with the gingerbread house, cut it out of gingerbread colors and just shorten the pole before adding the lantern. Okay, these next couple of cards really make use of a lot of the new dies together. So I'm starting here with the front of this card, which has our new Long Nature Edges 2, which includes this row of flowers and a row of trees. The trees do have a stamping feature on the die where if you ink them up before you die cut, they'll put this little swirl pattern on the foliage. And you're also seeing one of our little tiny gnomes here. So the tiny gnomes are new in this release. There's different ways that you can combine the pieces even to make a little Christmas caroler if you want for maybe in front of that street lantern. You can use the included stamp feature on those tiny gnomes for the beard, the mustache, and the braids. And they can be fashioned as little Christmas gnomes or year-round gnomes. So you're seeing here kind of a year-round gnome and then more of them in the bench. So the bench it was requested as a re-release, but I can't really call it a re-release because it's been redesigned. So most importantly, it's now a glue-in design. So the prior version of it, when I was a licensed artist, you had to cut it into your card, and so then it was always the same color as the card, and you had to cut another one and glue it over the top. This is better because you just glue it in and you can cut it out of whatever color you want. But beyond that, it's also been designed a little differently with some extra supports, and now it's got a little optional stitch pattern in it that you can use as a stencil, and it comes with more pieces because it comes with 2 extra little pop-up platforms that can animate things in the bench. The pillow and the little flower actually come with it, as well as the grass, so you get lots more pieces in it, and then it really is just perfect to use with the street lantern, the tiny gnomes. You can see here the hello is new. It's a hello with a shadow, and it does have an optional stitch line detail on it that you can use with a pen to add stitching to it. So here's those Long Nature Edges again. You can see them here, the trees on the stitched hill with the stamp pattern in them, and then the flowers. It does come with the little hearts, but then it also comes with a row of snowflakes. Okay, and then you can always use your trees bare, so you can see that same line of trees there without the foliage piece put behind it. So Long Nature Edges 2, tiny gnomes, garden bench, street lantern, hello, all of these are new. And then I've got a couple other just examples here. Here's the garden bench again with the tiny gnomes, this time fashioned as Christmas gnomes. There is a cute little jingle bell in that tiny gnome set for when you want to make Christmas gnomes and a little snowflake as well. And you can see another way of using the street lantern here with the swag across it and cut out of silver. And then there's those snowflakes from that long Nature Edges 2 across the bottom, or the bottom and the top here in this card. All of our previously released dies go well, you know, with the new dies. So here's a little Winter Animals penguin sitting in the bench, but then also combined with the Street Lantern, the new long Nature Edges 2, and then some of our previously released words. Speaking of words, one of our most popular ones is our Merry Christmas script die. That one's been very popular, and some folks have asked, hey, could we have a shadow for it? So in this release, we have just the standalone shadow die that fits that Merry Christmas. So if you already own that Merry Christmas, or if you buy it in the future, just know that you now have a shadow option die for it to put that perfect shadow around it. Couple cute cards from the team. Here's one by Kelly Booth using the new script Hello die and the garden bench on the inside, but then one of our previously released animals, our Nature Edges, and then Garden Charm. So you can see how well everything just coordinates with what came before. So Kelly Booth made that card. Sandy Diller sent me this one for my birthday, and she used the Tiny Gnomes. Happy birthday as a previously released die. I thought this was really clever. She used our evergreen pivot panels. You can see the shape of those evergreen trees, but then instead of decorating with the evergreen trees, she added the little tiny gnomes, gave them little birthday hats out of our birthday charms. So super cute little birthday card by Sandy Diller for me. And then here's another cute one, this one also by Kelly Booth, where she's used our charm accordion, which by the way is part of the special that I'm going to be telling you about. And then she's used the tiny gnomes on that, and you know, all the little flowers and stuff. So super cute new Hello. That can be used without the shadow. So you see she really didn't have room for the shadow, so she used just the inner script Hello on that. Okay, this one really is a straight re-release. This is the Iron Fence pop-up. I did bring this out when I was a licensed artist with another company, and many customers have asked for it to come back. So it makes this cool arching fence. Really quick and easy assembly on this one, and you can of course do it for any theme. It does come with 2 birds, and the only thing I changed on this from its previous days was that I added some wings to the birds, so they have a little bit more detail now than they did before. And you can of course use that for any season. So here's that same Iron Fence, this time cut out of white and used in a Christmas card. And kind of a fun thing to do with the birds is just to stop your cutting pad short so that it doesn't round the head of the bird, and just cut it into a point with your scissors, and then they become cardinals. And then the final 2 dies in this release are our pop-up snowman, and then word set 13 snow. That goes really well with it. Long Nature Edges 2, that's such a great one to go with the snowman. You can make those lines of snowflakes, but then you also get an individual snowflake that comes with the snowman. So that's also a good one to kind of sprinkle around. Snowflakes pattern plate in the background of this card. You choose your card size with our dies. So for this one, I've done like an A2 horizontal landscape card, but then in this card by Kelly Booth, she's done a, is it a 6, 1, 2, 3, no, it's a 5.5 inch square card. Once again with the Long Nature Edges 2 snowflakes used on the front of the card, and then she's got her cute little snowman in there wearing bright red boots, carrying a candy cane from our holiday charms. She's used the first Long Nature Edges here with the trees attached in the background, and then that word set 13 snow. Okay, let me show you how easy it is to assemble and install the garden bench pop-up inside a card. So I've already done my die cutting. I cut the bench itself out of kind of a pearlescent white. And then there's a little piece of grass. I cut 2 of those, so I can put one on each little leg. There's a little fringed pillow. I cut 2 of those and inked the edges. And then there's a little standalone flower in the set that really works nicely on the pillows for those kind of spring and summer looks. Okay, so then I've got my pillows ready to go. And then there's these 2 little pop-up extra platforms to be able to bring things forward in the bench. So when those die cut, there's one end that basically die cuts kind of a little arrow into the end, and that's so that you know which way is up. All right, and I cut 2 of the small and 1 of the long. All right, first things first, I'm going to find the score lines in my bench. So right out here on the end, there's little tabs. I always find it easier to put my thumbnail in the score line that the machine has made and fold it towards myself first. I just find it folds easier that way. But in this case, those are going to be mountain folds. So then I'll just immediately reverse them. Okay, same thing, turning it around on the other end. There's a little score line out on the end. Those are the glue-in tabs, so it does need to be a mountain fold. But I'm going to fold valley towards myself first, then reverse it into a mountain. Okay? Now I've got my tabs ready. Now I got to work on the inside. There's a score line right here It basically just goes kind of all the way across the middle of the bench. So you can just fold that over. Okay, so we're just basically kind of folding the bench in half there. And now we've got the seat of the bench, but we have no place to put our lemonade, right? These need to be the arms that come out. So they actually pivot right here, and here are some little score lines. And not at the bottom, because actually this is gonna, let me show you what I mean. If I reverse that and stick my finger underneath it, reverse it over here, stick my finger underneath it, then what's gonna happen at the bottom is it's actually going to fold that little location. Okay, so this section of the bench will just go kind of vertical. All right, and then that is all there is to it. So now I have that little pop-up bench and it's ready to go in the card. Okay, let's talk about those little platforms. There's a fold next to where the tapers end. Then there's one somewhere along the piece. You'll be able to see it. And then again, next to the tapered tab on the other end. So this is just a little kind of platform that looks like this, all right? And it's the arrow end where the die cut has cut the little arrow into it that is going to hook anywhere along this little section right here. So basically you've got 4 little spots here that you can decide where you want your platform to go. And it's that little arrow end that's going to hook over and attach to the back of the bench. Okay, so I put a little adhesive underneath it. Okay, and then I'm going to choose this little section right here and I'm going to hook it over and pinch it so that it's basically attached back there. All right, and then if I flatten this out, but this is going to tell me where it goes because it needs to hook under the bench on the slat where it fits in the flat position. So see, right there. So you can just do that in the flat position. I mean, I need some glue underneath it, but you see how it's going to tell you where it goes, which is kind of a nice feature. All right, so get that through that slat. Okay, and then as it opens, see, it's going to pop up that extra little platform. All right, and then the little small ones are the same. There's got a little fold next to the tapered tab. Then there's a very, very close to that is the second fold. And then again at the other end next to the tapered tab. So it basically makes that little, I mean, this one's a little platform. It only brings the things very far, you know, it's very close to the back of the bench, but it just gives a little bit of elevation. Okay, so adhesive behind the arrow end, the tapered tab at the arrow end, and then I decide where I want it. And that first section of the back of the bench is where it always goes. Okay, then I flatten, and it will tell me where it hooks under for the other side, and it goes through this first slat into the back of the bench. So see, they basically just span. And then as the bench opens, then you'll get that other little platform. Okay, now I'm going to put another one of those little small ones right over here. Okay, ta-da! I've got my 3 platforms in, and now this is ready to go in the card. So you choose your card size. It just needs to be a top fold card. I've done a 4.5-inch square. I've decorated the front with some of the new dies, made it kind of two-tone on the inside, used the foliage dies as clouds in the sky. And then now I'm ready to put my bench in the card. And what's nice about this is you do that in the fully flat position. So even though you've trained all the folds, you're going to fold it all the way flat again so that you can basically get it lined up right in the fold of the card. And then it's these 4 tabs that are going to fold under and glue to the card. So let me just add my adhesive on the top too, here and here. Okay, then using my thumbnails to make sure the bench is in the fold of the card and centered. I just want it to not move while I kick that under and glue it to the card. Kick that side under and glue it to the card. Okay, oops. Got off the fold. Hang on a second. Let me do that again. Okay. This is pearlescent cardstock, so of course it's taking its sweet time on the glue. Okay. Then I'm going to turn around and do the same thing back over here. So adhesive under the tabs, or on the tabs, I guess I should say. Okay, then keeping everything flat, making sure that's right in the fold, which it already is because it's attached at the top. Then I kick under those 2 tabs, press them to the card. Okay, and then let's see what happens then. As I close the card, it should bring the bench forward because of course I already trained it. Now if those were inverted like that, your little arms, you could just pop them so that they're coming out. But that's the nice thing about training the bench first, is it's basically already trained to fold down flat. Boom! Isn't that cool? And then now whatever I want to can go on the front of those little platforms. So I've decided on these little small ones out here, I'm going to put my pillows. Those can go at a pleasing angle, or they could be straight. Doesn't really matter. Whatever you think looks the best. Okay, and you can always close the card and give it a good press. And then I decided on a little tiny gnome on this one here. So adhesive on the front right there. I put my little tiny gnome against that. Okay, look at him, little cutie. All right, and then the last thing is I'm just going to put my little grass pieces against the bottom of the bench post. Oh, I'm going to have to come far in because of how my I didn't leave myself a lot of room on the outside with this 4.5-inch card, but that's fine. Just bring them in a little bit. Okay, how quick and easy. Ooh, sorry. I'm trying to go fast because I know I don't have very much time in the video. Okay, so that is just a quick and easy little garden bench pop-up card using also the tiny gnomes, the long nature edges too, the hello, that's new, and then this is our slim frames die set and long nature, oh, and tiny gnomes. Okay, let's talk about our show special. For the next week from August 14th through the 20th, 2021 on our website, KarenBurniston.com, we have automatically added a sale for 20% off all of the dies that are in our charms category. So you do not need a code. Charms are a very popular embellishment die that we offer in 24 different styles and themes. What's nice about these little embellishments being charms is that you have both options. So if you wanted to use your charms, here's one with the Sweet Treats charms, as a charm, then you could attach them by dangling them off of jump rings or brads or twine. And they've always got that little hole at the top to do that really easily. But then, let's say, you didn't want your donut to be a charm, you just wanted to use it as a donut. Well, then you would just cut off the little hole at the top, and then it becomes, a standalone donut. So then maybe, let's say you wanted to have a dog holding a donut. So that's what's nice about the charms, is that you get kind of both options. If you need a hot dog charm that you're going to dangle off of a project, then it comes with the little hole at the top that you could use, like I said, with a brad or a jump ring or twine. But then if you don't want it to be a charm, we'll just cut off the little hole, and then you can, have a giraffe eating a hot dog. So lots of different possibilities with our charm sets. Okay, but it gets even better, because in our charm category, we actually have 2 pop-up dies that are in that category, which means they are part of the sale. So they are the Circle Charm Pop-Up and the Charm Accordion. The Circle Charm Pop-Up makes a quick and easy little generic pop-up that gives you the double duty decoration, because the circle on the front actually pivots to become the inside decoration after you open it. So I love it when that happens. Then you've got the little butterfly and the heart and a star come already in it. And then of course all of our charm sets will fit on the Circle Charm pop-up. So there's one that Kelly Booth made using our wine charms. And you also get to choose your card size, so you can see the difference in card size there. The other one that's part of the sale is one of sort of the long-time favorites, which is our Charm Accordion die set. So what's cool about this one, it makes a quick and easy little 2-page accordion pop-up, but it has a hinge die in it, so you can actually take multiples and keep going. So if you wanted to make a 4-pager, you just connect 2 of them together. And so here's one that Fran Sabad made from our design team, where she's got the little dangling flowers in the openings there. She's used a backyard charms, which is where the little fairy comes from, but she did take off the hole on the fairies. And then you can see those same backyard charms used here in the bottom. That's where you see the snail and all of those little flowers and the mushrooms, but then she's also sprinkled in the garden charms. And then here's one I made, 4-pager, using our winter charm. So you can see the little snowflake in the opening here, and this one has the gingerbread man. Let's see if I can get that where you can see it dangling in that little opening, and this one has the tree. Our website is KarenBurniston.com. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I am Bonnie Krebs from Art Impressions, and I'm here to show you our newest watercolor release. There are 16 new sets, and I'm going to show you all of those. But before I get into that, I'm going to tell you about our show special. This is it. It is Summer Fun 21, and you can get 25% off everything on our website. Now that doesn't count discounted items. Those are already on sale, but be sure to put that code into the box when you're ready to check out. And that is Summer Fun 21 at artimpressions.com. We have free shipping with every $50 order, and with every $30 order, you get a free limited edition stamp. So you will not want to miss out. And if this technique is new to you, now is a great time to get started because you'll be able to buy all these things on sale. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you this new release, and then I'm going to try to get a tutorial in and show you how to put some of these together. So let me just kind of flip my camera around here. And I'm going to start out by just kind of showing you what we've got here. Now this is the newest, this is part of the newest release. There are 16 sets. This one is called the Vintage Car Set. Now a lot of these are already on YouTube, so if you would like to see a tutorial on how to put these together, this one is on YouTube and on Facebook. So Facebook, every Wednesday there is a Facebook Live, and it is myself on there, and I have been going through the newest releases, so you'll be able to go on there and check out those videos. Are all archived, or you can watch me live on Wednesday mornings at 10 o'clock Pacific time. I will be on going through some of these new sets and showing you how to put these things together. So this is the Vintage Car Set. This was the one from last week, and you can check that one out. They are also on YouTube, like I said. This one is new. These are the little watercolor peeking animals, and here's what they do. They fit inside little containers like this one. Here's the little squirrel right here. These are also on Facebook Live and on YouTube. So a lot of these new releases now will be on Facebook, archived on Facebook or on YouTube. So you can check those out at the Art Impressions channel on YouTube or the Art Impressions Facebook page. So here's this one, and actually this little bucket comes in this set with the vintage card. So this is the bucket here. There it is, and there's the little guy in here. These are all meant to go together. So these are sold as a collection. So every time you buy something, you'll be able to use it with things that you already have. That's kind of how it works. Here is another one. This is the watercolor veggies. This is more of a fall set. Here's the sample right here. These also on the packaging, there is also a really good sample of how to put these together. But again, these are all on tutorials so that you can go check those out. They're all very simple to do. There are step-by-step instructions, and you know, nothing about this technique is hard at all. It's just stamping and adding water. And if you've been watching and are a little afraid to start, you gotta just try it. You can do it, I promise. It's super fun. So this one is the watercolor veggie set. You get 7 in here. Great for fall. Now here are the foundations. These are also really, really fun. And what they are basic stamps. So let me just hold this up so that you can see. This is actually what the stamp is right here. It's just the door and the empty pots like this. And then we fill everything in, and this is what it looks like. It's actually a really big project. There are 4 of these. These are brand new in the watercolor line, and they are so fun to do. So fun. These are all on Facebook or on YouTube, so you can check out all the tutorials for all 4 of these. This is the door, 5433. This is the door. They're all kind of similar. So here's the wood table. You can see the stamp right here, and then you can see what it looks like when it's all filled in with all kinds of bright flowers. These can also be changed out for fall or around Christmas time. You'll be able to change up the colors, and it'll change the image completely. Here's the potting bench. You can see the stamp is very, very simple. And that's why we call them foundations, is because they're sort of the building blocks. You stamp that image, and then you can add all of your foliages and flowers and everything else in there. Just so much fun to do. So much fun. Here is the 4th one in the foundations line. This is the chairs. Again, same idea, same concept. You have the very basic stamp, and then you're going to add all of your fun stuff in it. Really, really fun to do, and tutorials, of course, on how to do that. We support everything with tutorials so that you know exactly how to use these. Now, these are the simple scenes. Now, we introduced these with our last release. They were so popular that I have 2 more for you. This is the simple lake scene. I've kind of been working my way through this one on Facebook Live, so you can check those out. This is the Rocky River. Here is a sample of what that looks like when it's completed. So you can see, here's the actual stamp, just the basic foundation, just kind of the starting point. And you can add your little structures, you can add things into the background, little flowers and grasses, and kind of complete the scene however you would like to. So that is the Rocky River. This is the lake scene, and it has a sample also on here. Now this is just showing half of it, so you can see that it's very, very versatile. And there are samples on each one of these little packages, so that you can see exactly how they go together. This is the pond set, and here's a sample. This also was on Facebook, so these are tutorials that have already been archived, so you can go back and check those out. And here, this is called the pond set. It's got the little ducks here, the little cattails, all the little items that you need to create a really cute little pond scene. More things like weathered stumps. This one has, in this tutorial, here's the little stump right here. Also here in this one, back in the background. So see, these things all work together as a collection. So the more that you buy, the more that you have to use in your compositions. So this is called the weathered stumps. It's got a lot of old gnarled trees that you can add into your composition. This is the rock set. Now there are two in this set. There's a large one and a small one, both equally versatile, so that you'll be able to use these in lots and lots of different compositions. Here's the rocks right here. You can see how it's kind of been worked into this composition. Two sizes on those, and just so much fun. Now this is the one we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little tutorial with the little deer, this one right here, real quick one. These are little silhouettes, and there are 3 sets of these silhouettes. So horses, these little ice skaters, and the silhouette deer. So 3 of those, and just so much fun to do. Here is another sample of those little deer, and really, really simple. You know, you don't have to do elaborate scenes with these. You can keep them so they're simple and really quick and easy to do. So I'm gonna do this one really quick, and I'm gonna show you how to put these together. And the first thing we're going to need is watercolor paper. So let me zoom in just a little bit here so you can see a little clearer. And we're going to start out just by stamping a little structure. Now let me show you what I'm using in this tutorial. So I'm going to use this little structure right here. This is the mini cabin set. And then in the mini foliage set, I'm just going to use the tree and the little branch, or the tree and the leaves. We're going to use that. In the mini flower set, just any of these little flowers are going to work. It doesn't matter which one you pick, but I chose this one right here. And then in the foliage set, this is the very first one. This is kind of the starter set for foliage. We're going to use the little grass right here. And that's all we need to get started. So really quickly, I'm just going to ink this with 2 colors. So this is a dark brown. These are Tombow markers, a 565 and a 969. We're going to start out by inking this. Just using the side of the marker, and then I'm going to ink it again with the dark blue right over the top, and then I'm going to stamp it off because I don't want it too dark back here in the background. And then I'm just going to stamp it in there like that. And the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to take some water, just like this, dip your brush in water. And by the way, all of these supplies, the brushes, the paper, all of this is available on our website. And I'm just going to start by pulling some of the color out of the lines. You can see this will just really start to take effect here. So I'm just dragging this color out, and then I'm going to pull some of this color down because this is kind of the shady side of the little structure. You don't have to do a lot with this. You can add some more color to it. I'm just going to use my palette right here, and I'm just going to add a little color to the door. And I just do that with a marker. This is all done with a marker. And I'm just going to take some of this color here and just put a little bit of this onto the roof and onto the door, just like that. And then I'm just going to take a really fine tip. This is a twin tone. These are also available on our website, and just really color in these little windows. So you can see that's really started to take shape here, and it looks like a little cottage or a little shed kind of out in the distance. Now we're going to add some trees in there, and we're just going to use these little tree trunks. And I'm just going to stamp them in here a couple of times on each side. Can kind of turn them a little bit to kind of mix it up. And then I'm just going to use a green. This is the number 177, and I'm going to use those leaves. And this, you know, with these little leaves, you just have to stamp these in here a couple of times. Just 1, 2, and then maybe we'll put some kind of back in here behind this little house. And then we're going to add some water to it. So it's mostly just stamping and adding water. And all you're doing is just kind of dabbing and softening those lines that you've just stamped. That's basically the whole technique, is to just kind of stamp and then add water. And you can see it just kind of starts to come to life. Okay, just like that. That looks pretty good. I'm going to take my dark blue now, and I'm just going to add a little color here so that I can put some sky in. And I'm just going to dip my brush in water, pinch it off, and then take some of this color and add it to my composition. Just so fun doing these little paintings. They're so quick and easy. Okay, so now I'm just going to take some green, same green that I used before on those leaves, and I'm just going to put a little color in, kind of, you know, just right in front of this little house. Just kind of brush this in a little bit. It's okay if you kind of get this color all, you know, a little mixed in with the house. That's okay. And then once that's dry, I'm going to take my little grass. This is the little grass from the basic foliage set. And I'm going to put this kind of in the distance, and I can do that just by stamping this grass kind of right in front of it. And you're kind of stamping it over and over again. So you're just kind of tapping it in there. And just, you know, stamping it over again. You get the dark to light that way. And then we can add some, we can add just a little bit of green sort of coming down the bank like this. Like that. And we've got our background in here. So that didn't take very long. That just took a couple of minutes to just kind of put that in. So now let's take our little deer. We're going to place him in the foreground. And we're going to color him, and I want to make sure that I sort of have him in the right place, so I'm going to use my positioner. This is just a little positioning tool. The little acrylic plate comes with it, and it goes up in the corner just like this. And then I'm going to ink my stamp, and I'm just going to use a brown, just a dark brown. And then I'm going to stamp it, place this shield into the corner, and stamp this right into the corner. So place my stamp flush into the corner and stamp it on my acrylic plate. And now I can see exactly where I want this little deer to go. And I think I will put him right here. Now I can place this back, remove the shield, and then re-ink my stamp. And then just place it back in the corner and stamp it lightly, just like that. And I'm going to take a tiny little brush this time. This is a number 1. These are also available on our website. This is just a number 1. And I'm just going to go over this little deer. Now, kind of stay away from the legs. You know, they're really tiny, and we don't want to make them too dark. So don't do anything with the legs, you know, kind of towards the bottom. Just keep that really, really light. And, you know, you can take some of this color off the back. You know, their little back sides are lighter. So you can just dip your brush, pinch it off, and you can kind of remove some of this color and make it a little bit lighter. Okay, and then we're just going to take a little color now, just a little bit of this blue, and just place a little shadow kind of right under him. Just like that. And then let's come in front of him now with some grasses. And I'm just going to kind of come down along this hill just like this. And this is that same little grass I used before. And I'm just going to pull this color up and out. So this little hill kind of looks like it's coming in front. And he just kind of looks like he's out in a little field, just finding some really good grass to eat. And then once that dries a little bit, while that's drying, I'm just going to take a little bit of this green from my palette and add a little more sky in here. And just kind of blend this out a little bit. And then now we can add some flowers into the foreground here, and we can do that with that tiny little flower. And I'm just going to use that same blue again. This is that dark blue. And I'm just going to ink this up and stamp this in here a few times. Kind of like a, you know, along this little hill. Whoops. Little stamp. Wants to kind of jump off here. You can make these little bushes, you know, as big as you want them. Kind of fade that out a little bit. And we can put a little color kind of, you know, back in here, just a tiny little bit. And then you just kind of touch it with your brush and kind of soften it up. Just nothing to it. Just so fun. And that is it. We are finished with this little tutorial. I'm just going to sign it and date it. And check out the tutorials on these. You will love doing these little projects. They're so much fun and just so easy to do. So check out Facebook. That is on Wednesday mornings, Pacific time, 10 o'clock, and those will stay archived on there. Also, if you're new to this technique, check out Back to Basics with Kendra. She is on every Tuesday afternoon at 5 Pacific time, and she is going through all the simple sets and going through all the basics so that you can start out simple. For those of you who have not done this technique before, they're very simple projects and easy to do, and a great way to kind of tiptoe into this whole way of stamping. So check that out. Check us out on Pinterest. We're on Instagram. Now you can do this in a Bible. You can do this in a journal. Excuse me. You do have to prep your page first. But if you are interested in that, check me out at Bonnie Krebs Bible Journaling on Instagram. That is my own personal account, and I have lots of tutorials on there, lots of reels and how-to and more inspiration for watercolors so that you'll never run out of ideas. And then, of course, YouTube and Facebook and the Art Impressions Instagram page too. So check that out and give it a try. Check out our special. Don't forget to use Summer Fun 21 at artimpressions.com for your 25% off. Thanks so much for joining me. Happy shopping.
Hey friends, it's great to be back with you, and I can't wait to share how to create a beautiful wintry scene. It's a shaped easel card. It's perfect for those beautiful Christmas cards that you will not only enjoy creating, but that your friends and family will enjoy receiving. Now, I don't know about you, but it always feels like Christmas comes a little bit sooner every year. Do you agree? If you and I haven't met, my name is 𝐒𝐒𝐿. I'm with Heartfelt Creations, and it's so great to be back with you again today. And we're just going to have some fun really learning the ins and outs to creating beautiful, snowy winter scenes the easy way. So when you look at this in the beginning, you might be like, oh my goodness, 𝐒𝐿, that's beautiful. But I could never do that. That's what I'm here for today, is just show you those step-by-steps on how you can quickly and easily create those one-of-a-kind shaped shaker easel cards the easy way. So are you ready to get started? Let me know what you love about this card and what you're excited about learning. There's lots of different facets and techniques attached to this project that you can then also use with other projects, including some snow, some beautiful snowflake frames and scenes, and all that fun stuff. So to get started, we are going to be creating with a beautiful snowy winter scene. It comes from our Home for the Holidays set. This set is just magical, and it really just reminds you of Grandpa's old truck, just going home for the holidays, and you have these beautiful scenes that you can pair together or use separately. There is a die that cuts this out, so you get lots of beautiful dimensions. So let's get started by showing you how you can color scenes quickly and easily, especially for those Christmas cards. So I'm going to be using a combination of sponged Algebras and inks, and then we're also going to be using a little bit of zig markers to get those very detailed areas. So this is what I did to color those trees, is I just went in with a leaf green archival ink and just added some quick color into those trees. I added a little bit of color to the deer and this background, and I'm just going to show you how I did that using the zig markers. For the truck, I'm using a wine red, and we're going to use a little bit of this. I first of all covered the truck with a little bit of the vermilion archival ink, and then we're going to add a little bit of extra texture and detail using a brush and zig marker. So this is a watercolor brush pen. This is your zig marker. We're just going to add a little bit of color and add a little bit more accents in here. So you can just start by adding just a little bit highlights into the truck. So this is just a quick and easy way to add some color very easily and still feel like you spent, you know, a good amount of time just adding that texture and color without spending all your time doing it. So when you are creating Christmas or holiday cards, I really like to focus on maybe creating some that are a little bit more simple, and then having some that have a little bit more detail. And typically I'll have 3 to 4 different styles of cards. Some are just quick and easy, and then I have some all the way up to some super dimensional elegant cards. So you get to really have the fun and joy of creating those Christmas cards, but when you start early, say in August, it gets you that head start. You're not pressured, and you can really enjoy the beauty and the magic of creating those beautiful holiday cards and not experience the last minute rush when the season is closer. So this is how you just go back, add a little bit of that shading. You can add as much or as little as you want. Just continue adding the color. I think this is all the color I'm going to add to this, and that's how I added the color to the barn in the background. These trees I just colored with a leaf green ink, added some glitter, and we're good to go. So you don't have to spend a lot of time coloring it. This is all ready to go on our card base. Now, to get started for the next step, we're going to create the base. The base is so fun, super beautiful to create with. We're using the holiday snowflake frame as the base. This is an exquisite die, and you'll find yourself using this over and over. I consider this a classic piece that you can use throughout the years. This is a 9-piece die, which means extreme versatility. So with this one, you're going to get a lot of pieces and variations just depending on how you layer it to cut it out. So there's one die where you're just going to cut out the base. You're going to cut 3 of this one to create the shaker card that I have. So with this one, this is going to be the inside. We created another piece like that. We folded it in half. And then also about 1 inch from the top, we added a little score line so that we can attach this to create that easel style card. Now, as you are watching, if you have any questions, let us know. I'd love to hear from you in the comments when you have the aha moment. Let me know what you're loving about what you're seeing and how this inspires you to get started on your holiday cards. Now tell me, are you one of those crafters that starts early, gets a lot done, or do you typically wait until last minute? I'd love to know. So with this, I'm just going to add some glue to the front half. So this is what's going to create that easel. And we're going to layer this part right on top, and then we are ready to add our stamped and decorated pieces. This is such a stunning shaped card, and there's many different ways that you can layer this together, but this is a very simple way. So you can lay this flat and just allow that to dry while you add the remaining pieces. So for the remaining pieces, I cut a square, stamped and Have a Merry Christmas, and this square is just a tad smaller than the actual easel. We're going to go ahead and we're going to just glue this to the front and layer this right on top. Now you could sponge a little bit of blue on the top if you wanted to. That's what we did on this one. That is just an optional tip for you if you wanted to. But your next step is going to be adding this scene to the inside. So this is all colored. We're going to go ahead and add some hot glue, just very quickly layer this to the inside. And then we're ready to add some snow and do that glitter technique that I was talking about earlier. So we'll position this about right in here. And before we close this with the shaker element, we're going to go ahead and add some snow. This is one of my top tips to adding snow is I'm using a texture paste. The texture paste looks like a creamy frosting. However, I do not recommend that you taste it. You do that at your own risk, but I'm using just a popsicle stick, and we're going to add a little bit of this texture paste right in the areas where there is snow. Now you can add this as thick as you want. You can do as much or as little. But you are literally just brushing this on. It is white, it dries white, and then you can add some really elegant chunky glitter called a frosting powder. So not only are we adding this chunky snow element that is very quick and easy to add with the texture paste, we're also adding a chunky frosting glitter. So we're just gonna add a little bit in there, and then once you've done that, to add the sparkle and shine, I want to just go back and add a little bit to these trees as well. I did them to the other trees in advance so that I don't have to do them to all the trees today. But this is how you do it to the trees and to those, elements that you want to have a little bit of that snowy accent. So just put it on. You can scrape it off if it's too much. So don't worry about it being too much. You can always go back and eliminate some. So we're going to go ahead and put the frosting powder on top. So the frosting powder comes in a container like this. It is a very chunky glitter. It has some white flecks in it for snow, which makes it perfect. So we're just going to go ahead and layer that over the top, and that just finishes that snow scene. So our next step is going to be adding a little bit more of that frosting powder to the top, because that's going to be for our shaker element, and then we will lock it in with our shaker piece. This is your shaker piece. I put some clear cardstock. This was cut out again with a holiday snowflake frame, so it's an inner piece. So when you do this, just put your clear cardstock on the back, and then make sure you use some adhesive foam strips and seal that very tightly. Think about like a fishbowl. You do not want to have any leaks in your fishbowl so that the water doesn't come out, or in this case, the snow, the sparkle, and the glitter. So just make sure everything is sealed off very beautifully, and then you can go ahead and just pop this on top, have a beautiful snowy scene very quickly. Isn't that just stunning? Have you done shaker cards before? I think it's really a fun accent and a way to do it with Christmas cards. So we're going to go ahead and lift this last piece, and we are ready to lock this snow in place. So we're just going to go ahead and center this right on top. Just press it down and just make sure everything is squeezed, squeezed, squeezed. So once that's done, you're going to go ahead and take this really beautiful iridescent. I layered 2 of these on top of each other, glittered it up with that snowflake or that frosting powder, and then we're just going to go ahead and glue that right on top, and that just finishes out that shaker frame. Isn't that stunning? Now you could just leave it like this, But if you want to add, you know, those extra embellishments on the outside to kind of take it to the next level, you totally can. So think about this as, you know, a basic concept, and then from there you can really do lots of different scenes and variations of this exact one. So we're going to go ahead and next just glue the truck on the outside on top of the main background image. So we'll do that and just pop that right on top. Okay, once that is finished, you're going to go back and you're going to layer a little bit more snow on the outside. So what you're going to do is just go ahead, take your frosting powder, and you will literally just kind of set the, not frosting powder, your texture paste. You're just going to bring that frosting powder right up here, and it's going to look like that truck is going down a snowy, frosty, covered lane. Isn't that just stunning? Love how that turns out. So there you go. You have a pile of snow on the inside. You have a pile of snow on the outside. And then again, just go ahead and put your frosting powder over the top, and you have that little truck in that snowy drift. Isn't that so spectacular? Love how that comes out. This point, you can go ahead, pull these little trees apart, and you can just tuck these into where you think it belongs. In this case, I'm going to add one to the back. I'm going to add one a little bit to the front. So I'll add that one in there. See, it just looks like it belongs, right? So I just love how all of that comes together. You can pop another little tree on the side. You can add some more snowflakes if you want and all that fun stuff. But you can just kind of nestle those trees. I might just add another one in here just for kicks and giggles. Let's see. We'll just kind of add this one on the top here. There we go. So there you have your beautiful snowy card. With the Home for the Holidays collection, we also launched a really beautiful letters and numbers set. Now, whether you are a card maker that likes to customize sentiments or you are a scrapbooker, this has numbers and letters in 2 sizes that are perfect for your card making, customizing sentiments, and also your scrapbooking titles. So for this one, just for quick and easy application, I'm just going to lay this back. I'm going to set something on top so it kind of holds it down while I'm doing this. We're going to go ahead and get the Let It Snow alphabet. So with this one, a quick way to apply these alphabets is just go ahead, use the little quick sticks applicator. This picks it up for you, so you don't have to worry about picking it up with your fingers, losing it, all that good stuff. Oops, you want to pick it up from the front. There you go, and then you can just flip it upside down, put your glue on, and let's start you can use a paper as a guide to put it down, so you put it on straight if you want, but I'm just going to use what I call the eyeballing technique today. Don't be like me and start with your words from the back. That oftentimes makes spelling mistakes. Sometimes I do that. I always like to start with my letters starting with the word from the front, so I have a better chance of spelling it correctly. So with that, we're just going to get that last letter, and you can see how quickly, oops, wrong side, how quickly you can attach these to make customizable sentiments for your cards and your layouts. So we're going to go ahead and just pop that on. Then you can have these little snowflakes that are just off to the side if you wanted to. Those are also in the holiday snowflake frame. Now, as a thank you for participating in the event today, we have a special savings for you when you place an order. You get a free die with a $50 purchase. Just enter coupon code 8142021 that expires on August 18th, 2021. So make sure you get that. I'm sure there's free die, or there's a die that's on your wish list, and this is your chance to grab that. So very quickly and easily, you have that beautiful, one-of-a-kind, snowy, sparkly winter scene that you not only have just the magical fun of creating, but your friends and family will absolutely love receiving. Now, before I go, just wanted to show you a couple more card samples of what you can do with this. I think this is a very simple, a very flat card, that where you have the truck in the front, you flip it open, you have the truck in the back. So beautiful, 2 scenes, very pretty. You can keep it simple, or you can, take it to the next level, add some poinsettias, and just have a lot of fun If you love altar projects, here's the little one that would be great, hanging from a doorknob, hanging from your Christmas tree. Here's another one using the card front panels within our collections. We have card front panels where you can easily create those little scenes. Here's one using a circular format, using the church scene, which is also from the Home for the Holidays collection. Super beautiful. It's called the Holiday Village, and it has just this stunning little snowy winter scene, perfectly paired together. You could do something similar to what I did, just using this scene. Here's another one using a different decorative background, using the papers, using those alphabet dies, which is really pretty layered up, and then just adding that scene at the bottom. Here's another one, just a shaped card, using that truck in the teal colors. Love how that turns out. Here's one using the poinsettia and then just tucking a partial of this scene, not using the whole scene, but just the truck, and then using those alphabet dies on top to create a custom sentiment. Here's one with the little church scene, such a beautiful village, with using the little snowflake scene as, or snowflake background. Here's one that's super simple, so you can create a super simple card project all the way to something very elegant. Now, like I said, you qualify for a free die with a $50 purchase. Just enter coupon code 8142021, expires August 18th, 2021. However, if you place an order today by midnight Eastern Standard Time, we still have the I Want It All from the Home for the Holidays set. It means you get the entire Home for the Holiday collection. You get a 10% savings on that. So if you're like, Emily, I love all of this, this is so me, get the I Want It All before midnight Eastern Standard Time, save 10%, and you also qualify for a free die. You can combine those savings. So with that, hopefully this inspires you to get started on your one-of-a-kind holiday cards this year. Have lots of fun recreating this scenic shaped card. Shaker cards are so fun. They're so magical, and if you get started early, that will allow you to just relax, enjoy the creative process. So with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of this event. So much fun seeing all the different demonstrations from all the different companies. So have an amazing rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody, and as you may have heard, we had a technical glitch, so when we ended our last segment, so that's why we always wait for the all clear. So, so we were sitting here kind of sweating
and
a bit.
I was like starting to watch, and I could hear what he was saying on my, and I'm like, Dave, you're still on.
we're going. So, but anyway, you know, that's what happened. We have, today Sean is not here in-house. We have Tabor, who is in Washington State, and he's doing everything electronic for us today. But
thank you, Tabor.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Tabor. So we had starting out Karen Burniston. Oh my gosh, the Biddy balls.
Wow.
You know, her. I love. You know, I always think of her cards as so mechanical.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many, you know, parts and pieces, and you know, just when you think that there's enough on the card, there's this little addition of everything, and she has the character add-ons, which are great. She has the, you know, the little mushrooms. They had the and the flower add-ons. She has the new sets, the haunted house and gingerbread, which are great. But I just love how she also makes the dies and where they are interchangeable, so everything fits
right
to where you can use it for this. And I love those the building where you're building different things. So.
Yeah, you could add this pop-up with these itty-bitties, with these
yes,
charms. I mean,
exactly. The
like
charms
you were
are wonderful.
saying,
Yes.
the Halloween, oh my goodness. The Halloween, I love crafting for Halloween and Christmas, but I don't know, Halloween is just, adorable.
Yes.
And so the pumpkin and oh gosh, the other the
house.
Yeah, just
she had the
everything
house,
was
yeah.
so cute. Can you imagine receiving a card and it pops open like that?
I
Oh
know.
my goodness.
All the different things. And you know, she has she talked about the Nature's Edge, the birthday, the charm accordion, and then the iron fence pop-up.
The iron fence.
And just
was
wonderful.
so cute. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. I agree.
Yes.
And the flap enclosure, which is nice
Yeah.
to kind of keep the itty bitty, down, and then can
Exactly.
you imagine opening it?
Not
and
up,
boom!
and there it is.
And the Santa and Mrs. Claus is so cute.
Yes.
I love it. I want all of them. And so right now, the show special for Karen Burniston is 20% off all dies in the charms category. And so, like, there are so many different options. Oh my goodness, the coffee is a must-have.
Yeah.
The tools, the Christmas charms, like the different drinks, the margarita, the beer, the wine. Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
All those festive.
Yeah, 20%
festive.
off, and that's valid from August 14th through the 20th. So
Great.
there's some time there. Oh, I can't.
Check
yeah,
those
that-
out.
I'm all looking. I'm like, look at all the options.
Vicki,
Okay.
we're on.
Oh yeah, sorry. I got lost.
She's shopping again. All right, so thank you, Miss Karen. As always, just phenomenal projects. So we appreciate that. And then we had Miss Bonnie from Art Impressions, just art-filled projects once again.
Every time she's on, we're like, that is such a work of art.
Yeah, we sit here and watch like this painting come to life.
Yeah.
And that's what we call it. And we both were just oohing and eyeing over the vintage car. Love that. She has the little animals, the veggies, those are new.
Yes.
Which is awesome. And then the foundation stamps. I mean, how those stamps, it's so fun to wear. She talked about the door, the table, the bench, and the chair. And so we were watching that. We thought those were great. And then when she came over and she was talking about like the lake scene, the rock river, the pond, we were saying, oh, you could take the bench and put it by the pond, or you could take the
We're at a loss.
pond. Yes, yeah. I mean, there's just. I'm trying to look here because you had the weathered stumps. You could add all these things to it and just build it, and you could take the same 4 stamps and think of how many different scenes that you could make in different cards.
Seriously, just so beautiful. And I also love how she shows, and she was saying that she has a Facebook Live every Wednesday at 10, so I'm definitely going to take a watch. And then Kendra, I believe, has a live on Tuesdays on Facebook. So if like you like me want to cozy up with a nice cup of coffee and watch and learn how to beautifully watercolor, I think practice makes perfect. I think hers looks like perfect, but I'm sure the more that you just tried, she makes it look so easy. And
would love to do. And I know Lorraine watches, I think, every Wednesday.
Oh, does
Lorraine,
she?
who was Lorraine. Most of you know Lorraine. She watches. So just always just works of art from Bonnie and Art Impressions. And we're going to get to see them. They're going to come and see us in a couple weeks, so we'll be glad to see them.
Yes, so. and we'll be like, oh,
we will roll out the red carpet. Yes.
We should already have like a little so she could do like a little thing.
Oh, we're going to set up a classroom.
Yeah, for us. No, just kidding. But yeah, the stamps for Christmas, and oh my goodness, people would just love this. And I think too, these stamps could be perfect for home decor as well.
Oh yeah.
Imagine making a little and then hanging it in your restroom or whatever, or on your bedside table.
Think of things like just like what we saw today, being on your mantle.
Yeah.
Or sitting on the mantle, a side table, a guest room. That'd be a perfect little piece of art.
Definitely. So Art Impressions. The sale today is a free stamp with a $30 order and 25% off. Sale is good from the 14th through the 17th using the coupon code SummerFun21.
There you go.
Why aren't I wearing my glasses?
I
cannot see.
So you will want to check out all of those summer fun, great products from Art Impressions. And thank you so much again, Bonnie.
Denise Renee says, you're going to make Bonnie the Bob Ross of the expo.
Yes, yes. There you
That's a good
go.
one.
There you go. There you go.
That's
We'll get her
funny.
some hair. And that's awesome. We love our, yes, send in your comments. We love to hear from you.
Yes.
Except don't mention our mess up earlier. So, and then we have Emma Lou. Oh my gosh, once again,
Oh, she's
Heartfelt
amazing.
Creations.
Look at the cards. Oh my gosh.
I know that holiday snowflake die, 9-piece die. You can use that, you know, for different things. But when she was making that card, it's so funny how you take like the card base, and she added this, and then she added the paste, you know, which gives it that texture. The glitter, then, you know, then the beautiful shaker card, and the truck that we loved.
Yeah, the truck.
Driving down into the snow. I mean, you can just picture if that just rings like Home for the Holidays
Exactly.
to me. I don't know. So
I love Home for the Holidays is the name of the stamp set.
Yeah.
I love the Holiday Village. The Holiday Snowflake Frame is how she built that beautiful card, and you know, it's so just pops. It's amazing.
Exactly.
I loved how she just used, you know, sometimes I get so stressed out about how, like, coloring with my Copics and stuff, and so she just used a sponge dauber, an ink, and a zig marker, and she just got, you know, I mean, that totally doable, so easy.
Exactly.
And my goodness, just everything.
Yeah, it's a good way to, you know, maybe that'll be an easier coloring technique, you know, than
than
what's
having
like,
to do the Copic.
Yeah,
You just kind of,
yeah.
you're adding that. And then, oh my goodness, I think it was called shaker powder.
Mhm.
We're all going to need snow for
Yes.
our cards this Christmas, right?
Exactly.
She also was calling it frosting. I think she had put a link in the comments, so I like definitely need that.
Yes.
And then at the bottom of the card, at the end, how she added that texture paste.
Yes.
And then added the frosting on it. Oh my gosh, it looked like that truck was in the snow.
Exactly. And, you know, and you can,
Dead.
like she said,
Love
like
it.
the paste, you can put that on as thick or as light as you want.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know back in Ohio we had big banks of snow, so that'd be perfect.
Oh my gosh, gorgeous.
Yeah, so
Okay.
check them out. And
Yes.
And
So their show special is a free die with a $50 purchase. It will expire on August 18th by entering the code 814-2021. So
Great.
that's awesome.
all right, so make sure you check out all of our presenters that we just had, Miss Karen Burniston, and then also Art Impressions and Heartfelt Creations for getting some goodies.
Talk
So,
about, oh my goodness,
yes,
amazing
It was
Christmas.
good.
I think I would say, I didn't get you a present, but I made you this beautiful card.
Yes, yes.
No. But
Well,
I mean, it's like a work of art, I think.
Exactly.
Amazing, all three.
Yes, more effort going into that than just buying a gift card, for sure. So.
For sure.
Okay, everybody. Well, you guys enjoy our next set of presenters, and we will be back shortly.
Hey guys, Leanne here with Creative Memories, back again for a fun virtual event. I'm so excited that live events are back in action. I was at the Duluth Expo, if many of you were there and had fun with us. I'm so glad you were there. I hope I got to talk to you and show you some of the fun products in person that we have, but if not, you can check them out online for sure. So just be sure to go to my link and look at all those items once I give this demo, and just stay connected, and we'll continue on from there with all the fun events that Expo's doing and that I'm doing and that you are doing at home, and just get online and share all that fun stuff with us, and actually jump into the crafting world, especially scrapbooking, card making, anything you love to do. That's of course what we're all about. So I'm going to flip the camera around and go ahead and talk to you a little bit about some fun stuff that's happening now with Creative Memories, and some new tools that maybe you haven't had a chance to see in person. Of course, this is the information about how to get in touch with me. Happy Crafting with Leanne is my Facebook handle, so you can join my page there. And if you want to order or check out our products, you can go to creativememories.com/cm/scrappylee. I love having you guys come and look at products, explore it, and then if you need to shoot me a question or an email, you can do that actually at scrappylee@yahoo.com. So, or you can go directly from Facebook and message me and ask a few questions. And I'll be happy to answer you the best I can. So today I don't have a lot of time, but I am going to share with you some fun stuff that we have going on with some new products and a couple of fun new tools. Before I get started with the layout that I'm going to do, actually I want to show you that first, and that's our new circle cutter. If you haven't experienced this tool or seen it in person, it's tiny, but it is so cool and you can do so much with it. I have a piece of scrap paper that I'm going to show you real quick how to use it. It actually has sold so well that we're out of it, so I'll go ahead and warn you. It comes out sometime in September again, the relaunch, so that you can get your hands on it when you see it and love it. But the neat thing about this tool, if you see here, it has this fun little bubble. And when you look at the bubble, it has black letters and then it has white letters. Well, the black letters are to tell you when you put a pen in to draw a circle that you're measuring that way with, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever inches. On the white marker, you're going to see that's also for the cutting blade. So the cutting blade is housed in here. You can see that it's a retractable blade so that you can run your fingers and hands over it and you're not going to get cut at all. It doesn't come out until you actually squeeze and press down. So that's what's nice about this new tool. For instance, I'm going to just loosen it up right here, and you can see this is a moving dial, and it's nice because it's kind of magnified. So for those of us that have bad eyes like I'm starting to have, you can move it to the inch mark that you want it to be. And then so if I did a 5-inch circle, for instance, then once I have that black line marked on that tiny little white 5, I'm going to tighten down the white so that it's in the right place. And then I'm simply going to place it on my paper. If this is the paper I'm using, it's a scrap piece. I think I have enough room. And you're going to press down in the middle where that blue dot is here in the middle. And then on this side, you're going to squeeze where the white button is in the blade, and you're going to squeeze and rotate. And it is so easy to do. If you need to let go, as long as you hold that middle circle in place, you will see how super easy and beautiful, perfect circles that you can cut. You can go back again if you want to have a 5-inch circle and then say you want to put a 4-inch on the inside of it. Just simply turn it, put it there, hold it down, hold your blue dot down, press your blade, and you can cut a circle within a circle. It is so, so cool. I didn't line that up perfectly, but you can see how fun it is to get all these different circles and layers. And later on in another video, I'm going to show actually a page layout with circles, just not this time. I'm going to do something fun with our summertime collection. So check it out. This is our new circle cutter. If you get the new catalog, which is only good through August, so if you want to wait and get a catalog in September, you can. New ones come out, but you can see on page 58 if you want to QR code it right there. Oops, let's see. Oh, am I getting out of camera? You can QR code it and learn more about it right there. Just take a picture of it. It returns in September, and it is such a fantastic tool for $26.50. You cannot go wrong with it, and you can do so, so, so much with it. So check it out. New circle cutter. Love it. And you will love it too. It's a lot like our paper cutter that you love if you don't have our paper trimmer. You got to get that too. I know that Sean loves it. And I think Vicki loves it too, so definitely check that out. Well, what I want to get on to is actually making a very simple, quick page layout. Here's a demo of the page layout that I'm going to show you how to do so quick, literally almost 10 minutes to finish, and you have a beautiful summertime layout. I know we're getting to the end of summer, and y'all are like, oh yes, the kids are back in school and I can actually scrapbook. Okay, that's me. I have 3 kids and they're all starting school. They actually started on August 11th. So by the time you see this, they'll be in school. I hope, as long as we don't have that virtual craziness going on. And what I like to do is when they're at school, I do sit down and try to quickly get some pages done. And especially our summer things that we may have done, I like to just get to it, and get those pages done so that we can enjoy moving on to the next holiday, which you know right around the corner is Halloween and fall stuff and Christmas and all of that. So anyway, back to the page that we're going to make. So the one that you see there, I'll flip back to the camera. What I want to show you, first of all, if you aren't familiar with our border maker system, I want you to learn about that. The border maker system is fantastic. Another great tool, if you haven't experienced it, you really want to. Lots of interchangeable cartridges, which I'll show you that as well. So this is the housing for the cartridges. Very easy. You just press a button on the back, shake it, click it out, and you have the cartridge that pops right out. The one I'm going to use today is the lamplight chain, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. So close the housing. You just pop it right in. There it goes. And then the other part of your cutter, your border maker, is this part, which is the paper guide. So underneath you have this tray. I've shown it before, but I'm going to show it again because it's so fabulous. You slide your paper in, and the magnetic part that's inside the blue is going to hold it in place. Then you just simply flip that little gray tray back, just like that, and you can see the teeth that are along this arm of the cutter. You just slide your border maker cutter housing with the punch in it right up against it, and it's snug. It's not going anywhere. Punch, and then you move it along the teeth, click it again, punch, and you go all the way down the paper, and it's so easy. It's just in and out, just like that. And you have this fantastic border that you've punched out, and it's so gorgeous, and you can do so much with these, and I'm going to show you how to do it. But then the paper that you have left, it has a nice clean straight edge so that you can use it for cutting mats or other straight edges, or you can continue on making more borders if you like. But our border maker system is fantastic for that. So get it, check it out. The whole system right now is $35.50. Comes with 2 cartridges, one that you can choose and one that is always with it, which is the fence cartridge. So check them out. I mean, seriously, on page 54, you can't go wrong in the current catalog. These are our choices of border punches that we have right now, but they come out with new ones all the time. There's fun new ones. There's promos. There's some that aren't even in the catalog right now because it's we're getting ready to transition to a new catalog. So don't miss out. If you love making borders, that's the way to go. So I've made it as fast and simple as possible to get this page layout. I'll show you real quick again that we're going to do by cutting out the borders already, and I went ahead and made the pennant pieces so that we can make this quick and easy. You can see that it's so simple. I've cut out these pieces already for the layering, and I've cut out all of our borders for that one. I'm using the Summertime collection, which is so fabulous. It has 2 paper packs. Designer paper pack and a tone on tone fast to fab paper pack, which is beautiful too. So we have 2 different ones, and I'm using a couple of the papers out of the designer paper pack. So Summertime collection, gorgeous. Summertime collection lasers. If you haven't experienced our lasers, you really should check these out and order them sometime just so you can see how beautiful they are. They're all 2-sided. So if you like the lighter green or the lighter blue, fine. If you don't, then flip them over. And all of our laser borders, all of them, from every packet and every kit are 2-sided. So you can see how beautiful these are for summer, and you flip them over and they're just gorgeous. You've got pink and you've got these fun lines on the other side. So definitely give those a gander. Look at them in the catalog, but I'm telling you, you'll be so impressed when you get them in person. So first things first, I've got my 12 by 12 deep sea paper. This is just a piece of our beautiful cardstock, which if you don't know our cardstock, it is so fun to use because it is gorgeous. It is solid color, no white core, best cardstock you'll ever buy. Ever. And I have bought a lot of cardstock in my lifetime, and I love it. So, and I don't say that just because I'm a Creative Memories advisor. From our sticker pack from the Summertime collection, I'm peeling off the flip-flop line, which is so cute. So easy to do. I'm going to just put it right across the top. I like to sometimes make sure my paper's within my measure so I know exactly where I'm putting things. I'm going at about the 2-inch mark from the top, which it looks like it's about 10 inches. All the way across, so my flip-flops are there. Sometimes there is a little overhang, and you can just trim that right off if it bothers you. And there you have it. That piece is down so easy because it's a sticker. And then I have my 2 pendants that I've already cut out and I'm going to put down.
I'll just do a real quick little adhesive on these. And these are 3.5. So you can see if I measure here, well, I'll do it from this side so you can see. So here we go. 1, 2, 3.5. So this one's 3.5. And I just cut a smidge off the top so it's not quite 12 inches to the bottom. I like to just have my pendants come almost all the way down. So I cut like a 1/4 inch off the top. Same with this one. You can see here it's 3.5 wide, and I did cut a little more off that one so that the blue is shorter than the floral. So easy. Just get those clicked right down. Glue those right down. It's so simple, and these pages are beautiful. Oh my goodness. You know what I did? I'm totally a bonehead. But look how easy this is. I'm going to peel that right up. Look what I did. I forgot to put down my tape, my border makers. So real quick, I'm going to show you that. I love to use with our border maker system, and border maker pieces. I love to use our repositional tape, which is the green refill. And the reason I do is because it's tiny, tiny little micro dots of glue. So when you put it on the back of a border, especially one that has lots of detail and open holes, it is so good because it sticks to, and I just put a piece of my scrap plastic down from one of my baggies to run it across, because the extra little pieces of glue stick to the baggie and not to my border. So look, it's so gorgeous. I don't have glue everywhere on my paper, which I love. So I'm going to put this one, I think I'm going to turn this one upside down. I can't remember how I did it, but I think I did. I turned this one upside down, straight across, and just rub my fingers across. Ta-da! No glue, and it is down perfectly. So I love it. So next one I'll do is the yellow. I cut all of these out ahead of time so that it would be quicker. And then here I go messing up, and it makes things not as quick. So there's some glue on that one. I'm just going to butt that right up against the green and just follow it all the way down the paper, so that it's this fun little layering look. And now I'll do my pink. And a lot of times when you have all these components cut out already, what's really fun about it is playing around with it. If you have your photos, great. But if you don't have your photos and you just want to kind of play around with it and then get your photos later, that's fine too. I like to make my my mats for my photos about the same each time, because then I sort of, I kind of know what size my photos are going to be most of the time, like a 3x5 or 4x6 or whatever I'm doing, and so it's always easier for me because I kind of already know what I'm doing. Oh, look at me, I just cut that right in half. What is wrong with me? Look, okay, I'll show you real quick. So easy. Look, my refill ran out, so there it is. I'm going to take it out, throw that away, and I am going to grab another one. So easy. The refills are $8.50. So once you get a new one, you just pop it right out. How easy is this? Then I pop it right in, and I am ready to go in seconds when I pop it right back in there, if I were good at lining things up. Okay, so there you go. Look, refill done. I'm ready to go again. Instead of threading all that tape, and sometimes I know tape runners can be kind of a hassle, because that's what you end up doing, is like spending so much time threading your tape runners. I'm guilty. I have a big jumbo one that I like to do that with, and sometimes it's such a headache because I spend more time relining my tape runner and filling it back up than I do just popping one of these in, and I love them. I love our tape runners. $9.50 for those. And this one I'm going to snug right down in there like that. I meant to do that earlier and I didn't, so look at that. I'm kind of all wonky on my border because I'm rushing. I shouldn't be rushing, but I have such limited time. So real quickly, getting these pieces on as I run out of time. As always, I spend too much time talking about other stuff. So there we go. Now I have my pendants I can put right back down that I didn't do a minute ago. And then I've already pre-cut my mats for my photos. Same thing, get those down real quick. and I'm expediting. I normally wouldn't go this fast. I take my time. I'm really super meticulous usually about lining things up. So my apologies for going so fast. But I will, I can remake this and do it slower and do all the cuts and everything for you all and post it on my Facebook page so that you can see it there if you want to. I'll just do a quick little video tomorrow. And you can go check that out. So my borders are down, my photo mats are down. The other fun thing from the page, if you remember, is it had some cute little slogans off to the left of the photo there where you could do some journaling and write some cute stuff down. So you can definitely do that. I have 3 scraps that came off of the end of our photos, so you can glue those down real quickly. Write on them, say something fun about whatever it is. If you're hanging by the pool, if you're, I don't even know, at a water park, whatever you're doing, or at the beach, you know, just put something fun. Photo mats are down, those are down, and then you can go back to your sticker pack, which is so fabulous. And we have a lot of fun stickers and a lot of fun quotes. This one I used the cute little bag on the corner here with the beach bag. So cute, so fun. And then I even just added an extra little flower, which you can do easily. No problem there. The beach ball was another fun embellishment. And actually, one thing I do like to do is use our foam squares. So the foam squares, of course, elevate your stickers or your embellishments. If you're an ephemera girl and you like to use those, or guy, then definitely add a little something there. Put some relief on it and raise it up. You can do that and add some fun bling. If you know this was a sandcastle day, add a sandcastle. If you want a fun quote, which we have lots of those, you can see there that we use the one that says perfect day, so I'll go back to that. So perfect day is simply here for this with the stickers. Again, play around with it. Use a foam square or 2, raise it up. Just do some fun stuff. So you can do that, and boom, you have a page done in literally 10 minutes. So by the time it's start to finish and you're done, you have a beautiful page, you're ready for your summer pictures, and voila, it's gorgeous. So check that out on my page, on my Facebook page. I'll do more with the summertime collection there if you're interested and want to see that. Next up, coming out brand new, which by the time this airs, you'll be able to see it, is this fun Spark of Magic collection. It launches on the 9th, so by the time you see this on the 14th, you'll be able to get your hands on this. It's so beautiful. It's very Disney-esque. It goes along with some of our magical weights, papers, and punches from before, which are beautiful too. This is the new punch. It's so cute. It's like a fairground carnival looking punch. I love it. Don't have my hands on it yet. And then this is my fave. I just showed you the Border Maker. Check this out. It's our Starry BMC, so that means Border Maker system, our cartridge. So you can get the Border Maker cartridge for that with those stars, and think of all the cool things you can do with that. Also, we have a new card kit coming out. Here's a collection, a picture of those that you can see. And just to snap back real quickly to that border maker that I just used, the lamplight, here's something cute with making borders where you could take those and line them. You also could do fun stuff in the winter time with that and make it look like a cool sweater. So not only is it beautiful for summer and spring, but think about all the wintry papers that you have, and you can make that look like a sweater. This is a brand new border maker we have out, punch, that is the paw print that goes along with our beautiful Happy Camper collection, which I'll pop back over to. Our Happy Camper collection, so cute. It's great for outdoorsy people and fun. We have a designer paper pack, gorgeous stickers that are out, and such cute embellishments and ephemera that has some bling with it. And then of course the paw punch, which is so cute too. So if you love these and love camping and outdoorsy stuff, then you definitely want to get your hands on that with a little bit of jewels as well. Here is a gorgeous 2-page layout that we made with our papers from the Happy Camper collection and the punch. You can see at the bottom with the paw prints and then some of the fun ephemera. So check that out also on my Facebook page, how to make that with that collection. It is so fun and so gorgeous. I mean, literally you can't go wrong with any of it. So be sure to check all of those things out in the catalog. Like I said, there's so many fun things that I don't even have time to go over. Must have laser titles. These are great. You'll want to get those because those go with any page. Our fun new botanical collection. This is the yellow pack, and look at these gorgeous botanical burst stickers and embellishments and jewels, the bling. We have it in green, pink, blue, and this gorgeous yellow, and complimentary paper packs to go along with them. So again, in the catalog, you'll see just how fun these new collections are, and when the new catalog comes out, you'll be able to get your hands on those. But here's the botanical burst. You can see the gorgeous paper and complimentary embellishments that go with it. Not good for just spring. You could do summer, or you could do so much fun stuff with it. So check out the botanical burst collection. And before I scoot out of here, I know a lot of you don't need storage, or you don't use storage, but this is one of our fun new storage pieces that if you haven't checked it out and you're a cropper that likes to travel, this is a fantastic storage box for your pieces and your tools. So the nice thing is the lid folds up and under, so when you're using it, you have great punch storage. You have plenty of room for your runners. You can put your scissors in there. It's fantastic for the border maker system, so it fits in there nice, long right here. This piece, the cartridge housing, can fit in there as well, and then you can put tons of your cartridges in here. So for storage, great for travel, great for just sitting around at your desk and using it. It is a fantastic storage piece. It's the tools organizer for $39.50, and we have a lot of other tools organizer pieces, the cup caddy, the paper storage, our sort and stash binder. So much stuff to check out. I encourage you to do it, look at it, and love this stuff. Before I go, though, I have to show y'all, there was somebody famous that came to Duluth and visited with Dave. So if y'all didn't know about it, check it out. Like, he got to meet one of the most famous Star Wars stars ever. You'll have to ask him about it and see what he has to say about meeting Chewie and C-3PO, because it was pretty cool. And then he had a cameo appearance himself, Insidious Dave. Check this out. He was there. He rubbed elbows with all the Star Wars crazies and had a great time with us. And my goodness, we're excited to get back and like I said, to see all you guys and do some fun creative stuff again at the live events. But meanwhile, let's just stay in touch and do stuff virtually when we can. And if you're able to get out and about and do things in person, do reach out, call me, email me, see me on Facebook, whatever I can do to help make your crafting adventure fun. I'm here to help. And I love you guys. It's so good to see you. And I hope that we'll be back with you again soon. All right, take care now.
Hi everyone, Annie from Stamp Anything, and today I'm going to show you a couple different ways how to make hang tags using the same products but 3 different ways. And for this we're going to need the little tag area from our Gatefold mini album, our woodland dies, and then we're going to be using our Joy word die, but you can do this however you'd like. So we're going to first start off doing an inlay version. And for that, and for all of these projects, what I'm going to use using from our mini album die is the part that makes the accordion pieces. So I'm going to cut 2 of them for the base for all of my hang tags here. And I'm just going to glue the 2 tabs together, and it is going to form a little hang tag. You can even do these, make a cute little note cards set that you can give out as gifts. I mean, you can make anything with these things, but I thought it would be really fun to make them as package hang tags for the holidays. I'm a little late because I know it's August now, but a lot of people were Christmas in Julying projects, and that's when I actually made our samples here. So yeah, here's my little Christmas in July. But then I just go ahead and I just glue these two tabs together. I'm just using a brayer because it's a thick cardstock I'm using. And when I open them up, the two tabs are kind of, well, this one's stuck really quick, but you'll see that it's kind of wiggled in the center. So then I'm just going to glue one side so it is completely flattened down. But using your different dies that you have, these turn out to be about a 3x3 little square or a little bit smaller than that. If you have small dies, you can make these for Valentine's Day, if you have for hearts, pumpkins for Halloween, however you want to do them. Okay, so now I also cut one of the panels also in my decorative paper, but I'm just going to clip off the little tab part because I don't need that. And again, I made all of these tags using the same products just so you could see different ways you can do it. And then I also cut a piece out of our 3M double-sided tape. So I went ahead and I cut out my word joy off of my top layer. I'm just getting all the pieces out because I will need the center of that O from my inlay part. And then I'm going to take my double-sided tape paper here, and I'm going to trim that off, and I'm actually going to trim it a little bit smaller than the die that cut it, just so that because I'm not really good at centering things perfectly when they're the same size, so I'm just trimming it so that it's a little bit smaller so I have that little bit of wiggle room. This double-sided adhesive tape is super sticky, so if you put it down, it's sticking, so there really isn't a lot of room for a mistake. So that is why I cut mine a little bit smaller than the piece that it's being attached to, because I definitely need that wiggle room for mistakes. And now the front side is sticky that I can then go ahead and place my word die that I cut out in red glitter paper, and it's going to go right in there. I don't have to worry about gluing it and anything oozing out. It's just going to go right in there because it is sticky from that double-sided sheet of paper that we put down. Okay. Super cute. And then we get, I actually just dropped the top of the J down on the floor, so you have to cut another one of them really quick. But there's the center to the O. And then I was looking for the top of the joy, and I could not find it. Isn't that always the way? So I thought I found it, but it turned out to be a piece of white and not the red. So I'm going to end up just cutting out a quick little top of the joy in another piece of red glitter paper. I always lose those little pieces, so it's ridiculous. But there we go. Now we have the top of our joy, and now I can go ahead and put that into the space provided. And then you just have to decide, do you want your card to open portrait style or landscape style? I want it to be top opening, so I am going, because I want it to be a gift tag. Now I just have to remove the backing tape. This is what I love this paper because it makes it so much easier. And you just got to line that right up. No gluing necessary. Voila, it's going to stick for days and days. There we go. And what I love is the, we're going to punch a hole in the top here for our tag. And again, you don't have to make these into gift tags if you don't want to. You could just make a whole slew of them and then tie them up with some really pretty ribbon, and you can give them out as note cards. But you can do that with, you know, any decorating of that. I just wanted to show you guys a different way to use some of your dies, and I definitely wanted to show you that gatefold mini accordion album die that so many of you guys have. You can use it in this way. So now I'm using our woodland die, and I just found and cut the sprig looking ones. I thought that they looked really festive for the holidays, and we cut 2 per each card, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere those to the top. I really like foliage dies, and foliage stencils are some of my favorites of all things created, basically. So I just really, really love using them, and I love these little sprigs. Now, at first I used bigger dots, and then I realized that they're actually too big for my sprig, so I ended up just hole punching them with a standard hole punch. They were smaller, and they just fit better than the bigger ones. And so I'm just going to go ahead and glue those on in a set of 3. If you have alphabet dies, these would be really cute note cards to make, like as a monogram set for one of your friends with the initial of their names. Again, if you have hearts, you can make a Valentine's note card set. If you have Easter dies, I mean, you can do these for everything. If you have cupcakes or something birthday-wise, candles, you can make really cute a birthday set. And just, they're super, super quick to put together. Okay, so then I was going to originally use ribbon, but the ribbon just didn't give it that whole feel that I wanted. So I found that I had some red, white, and green twine, which was perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and loop that through the hole. And then go ahead and tie it off at the length that I want it to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim the excess. And just like that, we have our first one done. This is our inlay version. It lays flat because we put the die in the actual cutout. And you can cut an extra piece in there to put on the inside, or just do your to and from. So the next one that we're going to go ahead and do is our shaker one. So again, I'm using these same exact pieces. I'm using the 2 for the base. I'm using a piece of acetate to go behind the cutout window of my joy for the shaker bit. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start constructing the card part again. So same as before. Gluing the 2 tabs together. Super fast, super easy. They're going to fit perfectly because they are obviously a die, so they're going to be the same exact size. You don't got to measure anything. Just going to do our brayer here. Make sure I get a nice, good adhesive connection there. And then I'm going to go ahead, that inside piece once again, and glue it down, just so it lays flat on the inside. Okay, now for our top piece, we have our acetate, what you need for your little shaker window. And you just need a piece that's going to cover the actual part of what your shaker is going to be. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down in place. You could also use double-sided tape, but because we have that little dip with where the Y is, I wouldn't have been able to get that with double-sided tape, so that's why I decided to use the glue and in between each of the letters. So it really just depends on the die that you end up using, which would be a better choice if you used the glue or the tape. Okay, then we're just going to let that dry for a moment. And then we're going to get our shaker bits. And I have this really fun mix that I wanted to use. And again, we have to cut off our excess tab on this front piece. To make the fronts of our card. And then you're going to use your foam tape. And you don't have to do the canal or the frame for the shaker to be the whole backside. You just need the shaker, honestly, to be where the window is. So you save some of your shaker, but you need to foam tape the whole back of the card, but you only need to make the windowy part around where the actual shaker is going to be. So I'm just going to be putting down some foam tape and start building that up. And you still have to put the foam tape around the whole card because otherwise you'll have a dip in the card when you adhere it to the front. But you just need the actual channel-y part to be around where your shaker is going to be. Ideally, if you think it out and plan it beforehand, depending if you're using foam tape or double-sided tape, whatever you're going to end up using, if you plan your placement of your die, you won't have to actually trim any of your foam tape and cut it in half like I'm going to have to do. Because if I had put the word die in the center of my card, I would have been able to just go right around it with the full length of my foam tape. But since I didn't, I have to cut it so I can get those little narrow areas on the side and the bottom of my word. And then I'm just going to butt that up to the edge of my card and then make sure it's not seen through the front side. And the only parts when you're doing this as well that needs to 100% connect and make a full all sides touching frame is the part that's going to be holding your shaker bits. The other parts of your card, the foam tape doesn't actually have to touch, but against that window, you really do need to make sure that it all pieces are touching. That way nothing escapes the little channel of the window for your bits. And because we're using more of like a tinsel type one in our card today than our normal shaker bits that we use, if we had left a little bit of a gap, that could have been quite horrendous with a leakage, with that glitter kind of going everywhere. And I'm just making sure the sides are all kind of nice because you're going to see that off to the side of the card when it's done. So I do not want to have, you know, gaps in that area. So I'm just making sure at least all of the sides have even frame parts around. And also make sure that there's no dips that are going to end up happening as well. Okay, so I think I got everything I needed here. So what we're going to do next is you're going to get your prepping ready for your shaker bits. And again, depending on the thickness of your shakers will depend on how many layers of foam tape you're going to need. I would not recommend anything thick because then your tag is going to look kind of wonky if it's really, really thick. Okay, so I have, again, like I said, it's this tinsel Christmas mix. It's messy, but it's beautiful. I don't use it often, but I absolutely love it. It gets everywhere because it's not glitter, it's little pieces of tinsel, but it gets everywhere because it's very light and airy, kind of like how glitter is. So if you breathe too hard, it's going to go everywhere. So now we're just going to remove all that backing tape. And now you realize, at least I did, why did I have to have so many small pieces? Because I have to take off that much more release tape as long. I love when it's all one big slit and it just comes off in bigger areas and little pieces here and there. But you got to do what you got to do to make your frame for your shaker. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get all of this release tape off and try to get some of these shaker bits off the foam tape so it still is going to stick really well. And I probably should have done the release tape first and then put the shaker bits in, but I thought I would end up getting too much of it on the actual sticky part because I've done that before too. So you never know how it's going to go until it goes. And here we go on that last piece. Go ahead and take that right off. And there we have the base, and we're just going to go ahead and get our back of our card. And I want, again, it to be top opening, so I'm just going to now make sure I have it that way instead of sideways. And then I'm just going to layer my back piece right on top of my foam tape and make sure I get a really good pressure and adhere it together, making contact with that foam tape. And now I have one that has a cute little shaker window in it. But we're missing the center of our O, so I just have to find the one that we cut out, which still happened to be in my die, which was perfect. And I just have to put a little bit of glue on the back side here. And you don't have to put the center of the letters. Some people like that, like when the center of the A is gone or the B's. I like when the centers are still there. I think I just like the way it looks. So I'm just going to put my center back in there. And there we go. There is the top side of our card. Now we have to poke our hole. So it's all repetitive on the actual construction of the card. We're just making our tops in different ways, showing you different ways that you can use your dies and make decorative elements. Okay, so now we're going to take those sprigs again, same as before, and we're going to go ahead and glue them in place. And I really love when I'm able to find different ways to use dies that I already have. And these were, again, from our woodland die set. And then to find out, like, but they work perfectly for holidays as well. So I was really happy about that. And then, of course, using a mini album die part, which is the panels of the inside to make gift tags, I thought was a really nice way for you guys to able to stretch again the dies that you might already have. And obviously, if you don't have our gatefold mini album die, but you have, say, a hang tag die, all you have to do is score one part of a hang tag, especially the part that starts to miter in, to use that as your flap. And then you can make those into gift tags as well. Just so many different ways, you know, that you can relook at dies that you already have and use them in fun new ways and come up with something completely new. Okay, so just getting those little berries on. And then again with our twine. And again, we're just going to loop it through and then tie it off at a length that we want. And then trim the excess. And now we have our second one done, our shaker one, which I think is a lot of fun. So there's our inlay one and our shaker one. And now we're going to go ahead and start our third one. I don't really know what to call it. I'm going to call it a trifold. And we're making our actual background part for it. So now on this one though, we need double the amounts of the base. So we're going to do our base like we did before and cut out the joy window. And then we're going to have another one of the bases because we're going to make it into a trifold. And we're going to end up gluing them together to open up. So on that second one, we're going to take a piece of the double-sided tape. And we're going to lay that down. So on the first panel, we've done the same way we did before. It is 2 panels together, are glittered decorated on top of it, and then we cut the word die out of the top layer. Then we're taking another 2 panels, and on one of the panels, we're putting double-sided tape. And now we're going to create a fun little background. I cut all of these strips of the papers that matched the ones that I've already done in the red and the green glitter that we've used prior. And then just to be able to give it one more color, I added in silver because I thought that would be festive as well. And I just cut them in all the same widths. And I just cut, I didn't know how many I needed, so I just cut a ton of strips. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove the backing paper. This one is the one that was probably not difficult, but the most time consuming of them all. So I kind of put them in order. The inlay one is fast and easy, then the shaker card, and then this one. And then all we're going to do is on an angle because, let's face it, unless you're really, really awesome and perfect, if we were to lay them straight, I'm sure at some point one of us, it would end up not with a straight one. But on a diagonal, if you go a little off, no one really notices as much. So I'm just going to take these strips and I'm just going to adhere them on that sticky side of the paper. And I'm just going to make my own little fun, glitzy, inside, decorative look so that all of my cards match. Now, obviously, if you have designer paper that you're using and you have the papers that match, then you wouldn't have to do this. But I also thought it was, you know, I like to be creative and I thought it was fun to kind of make my own inside panel. So we're just going to go and layer these all down diagonal to diagonal on that one panel piece. Just got to get the right color. I need a silver. There we go. And again, because we're using that double-sided 3M paper, and we do carry this paper, and it's good. It's in a shape that works for A2 and slimline cards. And it's super, it is the 3M brand, so you know that it's going to be a good quality. and it is going to stick forever. But it's super sticky. There is really no room for error once you put something down on it. That's probably the only downfall. Okay, so we're nearly done here, getting these last bits of paper. Just a few more stripes, and then this whole piece is going to be covered. Just a green, and we probably can get one more. I think we need one more. Yeah, we need red for that last little piece here. And then it's all covered. Perfect. Okay. And I'm, again, just with my brayer, just make sure I get a really good connection to everything. And then we're just going to turn it over, and you're just going to snip up all the excess. Just so it all matches our card shape. Obviously, if you did it in straight lines, you would be able to have cut them down to the perfect size, but on a diagonal you need them a little bit longer. But look at how gorgeous that turned out. I absolutely love it. It looks like it's a piece of paper that you just glued together, but secretly you know that you created that. And we're going to have it so that that is going to be what goes behind our window. So we get another look here. Now the thing is, because the paper is thick, that I used on my base, and this is where it's going to vary for you guys depending on what you're using. Mine was so thick that it's going to end up, I need to trim it a little bit, because then the edges, when it gets folded, it pushes the inside piece out a little bit, and then it's not going to line up proper. So you might have to trim a little bit off the top of your piece there so that it fits the way you want it to. And we're going to still have to punch our hole in there, but we're going to go ahead, and I'm just kind of trying to figure out where I need to trim, and I'm just going to trim a small part off the top edge of that paper we just created. Again, that's just because I want it to line up, and it gets a little bulky. You can see how it pushes it out on the bottom there. So I'm just going to trim it a little bit more. And it really is going to all depend on the weight of the paper that you used. I was using watercolor paper for my bases, so it is a thicker cardstock than the standard. And now that I got it to fit a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue the two back pieces together. And then what ends up forming is a 3-panel, like a flip trifold card. And then you can make a larger message in there when the person or the recipient opens it up. The only thing, it is a little bit tricky because of the tie when we put it in there. You have to kind of loosen the tie in order for the whole trifold to open. But if you were making these as note cards without a hole with the ribbon, then it's going to be completely perfect because there'd be nothing holding that down. So again, we're just going to take our brayer, lining it up, and then making sure it is securely glued together like so. And then you flip the bottom up and the top down, and you get this cute little look with that joy again. Now this one, I can't put the center in my O because then it would be just a weird looking inside of an O on that diagonal paper that we made, so we don't want to do that. And again, here I'm just trying to wiggle the paper because it was too thick. just to make sure, especially once I add the hole punch. Making sure that it lines up. It's a thicker amount that I have to punch through this time. And now we're going to go ahead and add our sprigs, just like before. I couldn't find my sprig, so I said, okay, let's do the string first. So now we're going to go ahead and put that in, and I will show you what I mean about it not going to be able to open that bottom part. See, once you have it secured in there, so you need to do it that you would have to kind of loosen up a bit of your string when you do the square part, the square knot. Again, if you're doing it as a note card, it's not that big of a deal. But as a gift card, not a gift card, a gift hang tag, they would have to kind of loosen the string up a little bit in order to open that flip part of the window. And you don't even have to make it a trifold if you didn't want to. You could have just made the inside of your card with the diagonal. I just wanted, again, to show you a different way of things that you can do with it. I would make it as a longer string, obviously, so that you can open better, because you don't want them to have to like open the string to open up the card to actually read the message that you might give to them. So ideally it's not functional as well as the other ones, but this was more about technique and different things that you can do than it was about anything. But I would do them as note cards 100%. I think it's really cool to have it as a trifold note card. You could even do it in an A2 size or slimline size as well, following that technique. So now I just got to go and find my sprigs because I don't know where I put them. As much as I prep to do these videos and I put things off to the side so I can have and use them, I swear I put them down and they just literally vanish on me all the time. It's like there's a ghost in my house that's like stealing all of the pieces I need when I need them because they're never where they are, where I know I'm like, I put them right there. And then I go back to that place and they're just mysteriously always missing. And I'm sure a lot of you relate to that. You put something down and then 2 seconds later it is gone. That is the joy of crafting. Or should I say the curse of crafting? Everything goes missing. You probably own 20 pairs of scissors and you're lucky you can find one when you need it. That's just how it happens. All right, so now I need to go ahead and punch some more of our little red hollies. So I'm just using my standard hole punch and I'm just going and making those last 3 that we need. And then we can go ahead and glue those down. But again, just look at your dies in new ways that you can use them. Creating something new with something old. A lot of them have multiple functions if you just look at them in new ways. Okay, and there we have our final tag. So now I just showed you 3 different ways to make gift tags for the holidays with an inlay, a shaker, and then that diagonal trifold. I hope you had fun. I had fun. Thank you for joining me, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody, and once again, Miss Leanne, I'll tell you what, we had so much fun in Duluth, and I was surprised to see the little pictures from
Yeah,
Duluth.
that was awesome.
But that, what's the big hairy guy?
Chewbacca.
Okay, I call them Wookiees, but Chewbacca, yeah, that was her daughter in that costume on stilts.
So cute.
They were amazing. Their tables were just phenomenal. You know, we loved everybody's tables that decorated and the costumes. So, but she, you know, the thing about Leanne is she is just so passionate about people saving their memories and journaling and things like that.
Right.
And gosh, what a great company, you know, that she could be associated with as Creative Memories.
Yeah.
And I love that circle cutter.
Yeah, that was really neat.
You can, you know, look how
That's a
easy it was.
must-have.
Yeah, and different sizes. It looked like a very simple, looks like something I could operate.
Yes. She said it's so good it sold out already, so
Yeah.
they're going to re-up in September, so
Exactly.
put me on the list.
Yes, I was going to say, I wonder if you might want to ask her if she has a list of people. But it's so nice to be able to, that's perfect for layering and perfect circles, you know. Easy, quick, and do. The border maker is phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
We were talking about, I think you get one of the border punches with it, but then you can get whatever ones, you know, that you would like to have.
Right, right.
And there's just an array of them that they have, the different border punches, and I love the paw print one.
That one
Of course, that was
so
cute.
cute.
Yes, and then the summertime collection with all the beach and all the summer memories and all that. You know, everybody. Well, like you said, you've made it to the beach once.
Yes.
You know. I
sure.
watch it on the news every morning. Look how beautiful the beach is. And then I know it's a favorite of a lot of people, the Spark of Magic, the Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Theme. And she and her family just went to Disney.
Yes, that was
So
so fun.
I'm sure she'll have a lot of great pages to share.
Yes,
So
post them, Leanne.
yeah.
Show us.
Yep. And they have new card kits and also a lot of different tool storage organizers. Right. So you'll want to check out all of Leanne's Creative Memories products. And
Yes, I loved, like you said, I definitely, I've said it before, but I mean, I had ordered like the whole line from St. Patrick's with the hands down, Creative Memories is still my very favorite scrapbook album. It's just, it fits so pretty in your, like when you want to, you know, put them in your
bookcase.
Your bookcases, yes. And I love them, so I had got all that. So much fun. I kept saying I needed that border maker. I think today's the day.
Yes.
And all the different borders that they had, she showed. They're so cute. Like Dave said, that paw one. And
that one's really
just
cute.
the one that she used on the demo today. Like, I was thinking, man, that could be any holiday, because I love to scrapbook for the holidays, but or anything, birthday, whatever, in the color scheme, even a wedding, you know, on cards or whatever.
Yep.
I loved the botanical collection, because I think my favorite thing to collect, well, all of it, but I love ephemera, and I thought that was really pretty. I had them in my planner, and so it's kind of like that basic color, solid, to kind of add a punch to your project.
Exactly.
So, yeah, just amazing. I love Creative Memories. So the show special is order the Border Maker system and get a limited edition Apple chain punch free. Any order $25 gets a free surprise gift and no coupon code needed, and this will end on August 30th. Yes.
Very good.
I'm all reading. I'm all okay.
Yeah,
very good.
for sure. And thank you once again, Leanne. And Leanne, thank you for she brought me a couple of, well, she didn't bring me a couple. She brought me a lot of jars of goodies.
Yeah.
Some pickles, some jam, some jellies. So 50% made them home from Duluth. The other 50% will make them home from Schaumburg. So
Awesome.
got a little treat to bring home with me from Duluth.
And I love that she added those photos with you. That was so
great.
cute. That was awesome. I love her videos, her segments.
Yes.
Thank you, Leanne. You're
Always
awesome.
Good. Yes. And give those girls a hug for us, okay?
Yes.
And then Stamp Anything. Always, gosh, so creative. Love it when we can show, or our presenters show, different ways of using, just like she used the mini album die. It doesn't have to be used for mini albums.
Yeah.
She was showing little booklets, the little hang tags that she made. Her word dies, I love them. I love them.
Very affordable too.
Yes, affordable. The font is nice. She made the joy and she made the shaker with it. And we're always losing parts and pieces.
Yeah, I was filling her with every time without fail, and I'm on the floor like.
We'll put a bling on there or something. So that's what Vicki was saying. And the shaker bits, gosh, tons of different types of those shaker bits for any kind of a project. And I like the stencil that she was using, and that's made out of stencil instead of the glitter. And just all different types of decorative elements. And I liked she took the part of the woodland die set to use for the holiday, or the winter, I guess you could say.
Right.
So just great ideas.
She was saying in the comments that that's like her favorite die. Yeah. And that's so versatile, because you could use that for so many different projects.
Yeah.
And like I love that gatefold mini accordion die. I think everybody needs that in their life. I've used it already on different things for myself.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should just order that if you order it, because it's so versatile,
irreversible,
and versatile, and you could use it over and over and over and over again. I think as like to keep in your purse, to keep in your give to friends, and it's so easy to do. And like I didn't even think that you could use it for like she did today. I love when you reuse things that you already have in your stash. So Annie's is so brilliant when it comes to that stuff.
Yes.
And like Dave was saying, the shaker bits, if you go online, I'm probably Stamp Anything's biggest fan. Like I love
the little
all
shaker
of
bits.
The shaker bits. She has charms. Of course, her Chibi Kids obsessed.
Yes.
I think my goal is to have every single one of them. I have a good
and all the bits and all the dies
and
all the
she
work.
also even has a bunch of cool tools.
Oh,
and she has like the mini inks.
Yes.
And
those are great to use. Easy to use and very very vibrant colors
exactly. So Stamp Anything Show Special is 15% off all dies, and I'm telling you guys, get your hands on this accordion die. The coupon code is die15, so that is
great.
awesome. Yes.
Another great special from Stamp Anything.
Yes.
So we want to thank all of our presenters and our sponsors today. I'm sure that you got some great ideas from the demos. Always great shopping. And just a couple reminders again, Schaumburg, we are on the way. Next weekend we will be there, so we hope to see all of you there. Stop in if you're close to Schaumburg and in Illinois. And then when we get back from there, we've already started, but we'll finish packing for our Mesa event, and that's the 17th and 18th of September. So something to look forward to.
I love the Mesa show too.
Yes. And then also on Friday, the 27th of August and Saturday the 28th, we are going to have another warehouse sale here at the warehouse, I guess. And like we had mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you were here before, we had everything marked, $1, $2, $5, very reasonable. Well, you're going to be able to take, when you come this time, which you're going to get a bag. If you want 2 bags, we'll give you another one. you're going to get 50% off your total. So
yes, can't
you
beat
can't
that.
beat it. We still have tons of great, any kind of paper crafting that you want to do, some props.
There's
and all
also
kinds
like
of different
leftover
things.
workshop pieces
Yes.
if you ever took one of our workshops. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah. So everybody have a great rest of your day.
Saturday
Yes,
party.
yes. And we will see you at our next at-home event here at Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. Goodbye, everybody.
We love you. Bye.